I got nasty habits. I take tea at 3. Yes, and the meat I eat for dinner, it must be hung up for a week. And my best friend, he shoots water rats and he feeds them to his geese. Don't you think there's a place for you in between the sheets? Come on now, honey, we can build a home for 3. Come on now, honey, don't you want to live with me? Oh, well, there's a score of harebrained children. They're all locked up in the nursery. They got dirty necks. They got earphone heads. They're so 20th century. Well, they queue up for the bathroom roundabout 7:35. Don't you think it needs a woman's touch to make it come alive? You look good, Pram, pushing down the high street. Ding, 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 ding. Come on now, honey, don't you want to live with me? Big old saxophone solo by Bobby Keys. Hey, AL, good to see you. This whole thing, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, Damen and Herren, everyone out there in the grand spectrum of humanity and everything in between here on planet Earth and beyond. That's right, it's time for the Super Sully Sunday stream. That's right, say that 3 times fast. I dare you, Pikachu. My executive producer is a stuffed animal. His assistant, the real boss, is X-Ray Girl plushie. Over there in the control booth, we got a Cecilized Canadian bear and Drinker plushie. They control the set, the lightings, the mic, the cameras. You know, they do the producing, the writing, the hiring, the firing, the paying of the lots of money. I am just the talent. I literally read everything he writes down. And thank God for it, too, because I'm kind of stump dumb. I'm just kidding. How y'all doing? I'm having a great day. Welcome to the Super Sully Sunday stream. Salancha. That's an Irish word for like cheers. Skol, salud, to your health. Prost. I would love to learn how to say cheers in every language. How do you say cheers in Chinese? You know what I mean? That's, you know, geez, a billion people know that one, man, but not this one. Pikachu can only say Pikachu, but I understand him. We have an understanding. We really do. And also, you know, the mind that produces such scrawl, such Palmer method penmanship. I mean, the loops, the whirls, the crowdings, the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. You know, gee, it's, and then there's a cultural difference. He's Japanese. She's Chinese Canadian. I'm stuck between them. They're, you know, here, America, the great melting pot. There you go. America, America. That's right. Rachel Zegler. Woke hate speech. Fucking pronouns. It's clickbait. I know it. You know it. I need that out there. This is what he wrote. This is what Pikachu wrote. We're trying to improve ratings, and no other things get like hits than putting woke in your clickbait title. Now, if only I had the wherewithal, the means, the attention span to pull off a niftier thumbnail. Dude, I recycled a thumbnail that I did on a previous Rachel Zegler video, our most popular viewed video ever. I think it was about 1.1K views. That was our biggest video ever. We lost one of our wrenches for that one. Gun by. Hey, Bone, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, we lost one of our wrenches because of a Rachel Zegler video I did. Our very own Winnie Woo. I feel like we can talk about it now. She got really upset about it. She didn't even watch it, and I was just, well, you should have watched it because it's like I really don't, because it was clickbait. I actually kind of am more than fair to Ms. Zegler. I think she's young. I think she's hot. I think I've dated a Latina in the past. I dated a Latina for 4 years, para 4 años. Like, Latinas are spicy, man. Caliente, and so I respect her, and I I didn't like what she had to say, but also it's just more of like but that was clickbait. I called it, what the hell's the problem with Rachel Zegler, or why can't Rachel shut up, or why is she so unlikable? Just the usual clickbait stuff. I got this there's a system out there. Sometimes the algorithm is juked for that you need a provocative clickbait kind of title. You need the proper kind of thumbnail that has the word woke in it, or like googly eyes, and like kind of thing. There's a science to it. And so I did this like Geeks and Gamers kind of tried and true method. And then lo and behold, I got the most viewed video we've ever done. But we lost a beloved wrench because of that. They were just like, life's too short to have all this negativity, and I'm not going to be part of that. Like, I respect that, and she walked away from our channel. You know what I mean? And but I gave her wrench to Yule Carter, so it all worked out at the end. You know what I mean? And thank you all for tuning in. And I hope your Sunday is going awesome, that you're blessed and grateful. I am. And I'm also, where's my football score? Oh, okay. I could be watching the game right now. I got a meatloaf dinner with mashed potatoes and green beans. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Random red circles on thumbnails. They really do. I need all the help we can get. My executive producer is a stuffed animal, a Pikachu. You know what I mean? Just, they're heroic and they're brave. And, sometimes a little repetitive. Hope you're all doing good. Guess what we got? We got new comic books. That's right. What's in the bag? Well, that's last week's comics. Wait. What's in the bag? We've got this week's comics. I actually picked up last Mermaid number 6, which I missed. I also picked up Nemesis Rogues Gallery number 4 that I missed. And but we had, so you basically have 3 new floppies this week. 4 because I got 2 copies of one of the books. And because I am a sucker for a variant copy. So we'll get into that. And yeah, it was, to be honest, AL, that was heartbreaking. That broke my heart in a way, but it's okay. It was like, and I'm glad that we all found each other through and I'm glad that she used to come out to Yule's show too. And then, and she stopped showing up there. Maybe she watches it, but that's the last place I saw her. And then in a Perch comment, I think, or, and I responded to her. It was the Mark Wade thing. And it was like, I got no time for all this negativity on Twitter. I'm like, well, Winnie, hi. It's, it was basically, that was on Bluesky and the safe space for blue people. I didn't say it like that, but, that was my response. Like, hi, I'm always polite and I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed. And I hope she's doing awesome. And you know what I mean? Like, AL, you both live in New York. I'm surprised that you never ran into each other. Or maybe you have, and it's none of my business. Hello, Mo. Good to see you. Salam, everyone. Indeed. And we are, we have a clickbait kind of title talking about Rachel Zegler once again. I just watched an amazing video done by a fellow panel mate over at Wes's Thinking Critical's Saturday show, Comics Aficionados. I'm blessed and grateful that I've been invited back on that show for a little over 2 years now. Can you believe it? I can. I mean, he had me on pert near a whole month about a month ago, I was literally, covering kind of like, covering for other people here and there. Hey, Lane Kramer, good to see you, buddy. Aw. How am I doing? I'm here to help. And so Teresa Campagna, aka Jester Bell, she's got a great channel. Here, I'll drop the link in the chat. I just watched it right before this, and she's talking about the Rachel Zegler thing. Here you go. There's the links in the chat right now. So put that up. Watch this. Watch her after you watch me, and leave her a like and leave her a comment. And please subscribe to Teresa Campagna, Jester Bell. She does not need me pimping for her. She's literally got 25.6 thousand subscribers. She gets thousands of views. She's a really good YouTuber. And my favorite thing about Teresa and the Jester Bell channel is that she's young. I think she's 25 years old, maybe 26, maybe 24. But she, for me, is like, I think I'm so grateful and blessed for Wes, not just for having me on the show for the past 2 years and connecting me to like basically all of you out there in the chat right now, and a lot of people tuning in to talk about comic books and this week's comic books, which we will. I get to like interact with younger people, and Teresa Campagna is one of them. There's Nander Fox Schaefer, and then there's Dylan, and they're all under 30. And so I feel like the torch has been passed. And they, responsible fans are out there. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's cool. And I like that. And I like hearing their voices because, you know what I mean? It's just because they're half my age. I'm, twice as old as literally than these people. My birthday is on Tuesday. Yeah, my birthday is Tuesday. I'll be 52 years old. Slancha, Sully. To you, to another trip around the sun. Thank you so very much. Yes, I'm really, I love her content. I'm a big fan of hers, and yeah, she's like wicked cool, and she's so creative too. She's got like lots of different content, like acting stuff and cinematography stuff. Like she's a complete package. Look, everyone out there, go subscribe to Jester Bell, and I'll drop that link in the chat once again for this amazing video she just did about Rachel Zegler. Yeah, let's start off with the clickbait, and then we'll get to the comic books. And but first thing you got to do is throw out your hands, stick out your tush, hands on your hips, give them a push. You'll be surprised you're doing the French mistake. Voila! Oh, geez. Did I just do that? Yeah, that's from Blazing Saddles. That's like, the big musical number at the end in Act 3, and then comes the pie fight, and the cowboys and the dancing boys. It's really on the movie set. It's like it's pretty fun. It's a movie that they say that all the time. This movie would not be able to get made today. You never know. I think there are I think it would be made tomorrow. It could. And also, I think that Blazing Saddles is a great double feature along with the Quentin Tarantino 2012 masterpiece, Django Unchained. I think Django Unchained is an Ertzatz remake of Blazing Saddles. The relationship between Dr. King Schultz and Django is nearly identical to the relationship in Blazing Saddles. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. So Rachel Zegler, huh? What to do? She's 23 years old. She was discovered in a talent contest. Why do I do that? Because it says like my microphone is obscuring my StreamYard studio. That's why I'm always like juking and moving. Yeah, stick and move. Like that. We're not going to talk about the Tyson fight because there's nothing much to say about it. I didn't watch it. I mean, I don't have Netflix. I haven't not had Netflix since a week before Cuties. Now, I would have dropped it for Cuties, but I dropped it out of lockdown finances because I was on furlough. Call what talent? What are you calling talent? Who am I talking about? What did I say? Come on, I got a very short attention span, sir. I haven't seen X-Men 97 yet. I was a bigger fan of the earlier seasons of X-Men, the animated series. That last season is completely terrible. The Fox show. X-Men 92 is better than X-Men 97. So, and I don't mean X-Men 97, the new show. I mean, like season 5. And they had changed animators, and it was just so cheaply done. It was so awful. It looked bad. Yeah. Oh my God, she's hot. She can sing. She can dance. Me too. Yeah, I'm going to get new gods. And I don't have Netflix either. I'd only watch it for anime. Sure, exactly. I've never subscribed to Crunchyroll. Or the other like services. I loved Toonami on Cartoon Network. That was like, I knew anime before that because I grew up with Battle of the Planets. I grew up with G-Force, Gatchaman. I grew up with Space Battleship Yamato. We called Star Blazers, Transor Z, which was Great Mazinga, and I had a Shogun Warrior. So just like there was plenty of Japanese stuff going on, and then came Robotech in 1985, and came Akira in 1988, the movie. Geez, and the chat is blowing up with anime talk. I can't keep up with you, but I will say thank you to Steph Annie at My Nerdy Home for she's been on point with correlating like Disney stuff and the Rachel Zegler's information. She's also a co-host on Max von Priestley's Sunday craft show. MVP hangs out with usually 3 chicks every Sunday morning. It's great. It's a great chill stream. I love it. I usually tune into it. I missed it today. I forgot. I was recovering from a hangover. I went and saw a rock and roll show last night with some friends, and that was fun. And I had a bit too much to drink, so I slept all morning. But Max MVP does a show with X-Ray Girl, the real X-Ray Girl, with Kara Lynn of Kara Creates. She got notoriety for being fired for making a conservative comment on social media from a video game developer, and then she was hired by Eric July as the media manager, I believe. So she's like, huge into this big pop culture that we have on YouTube. And Stephanie too, at My Nerdy Home, and they paint Warcraft. They have Lego. It's a great crafty chill stream at 10 a.m. Sundays usually. Check it out. And she is so hot. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna check you for your fever. What end do I stick this thing in? Alrighty, okay. But Rachel Zegler said this the other day on about November 12th or 13th. She had 4 Instagram tweets. Now, she's stepped in it before with fantagonism, with being unlikable, and just so there's a Rachel Zegler zeitgeist out there, and it's of the unlikable young woman who just there's something about it, yeah. And I find myself and I'm going to read about this. And I get apolitically incorrect on Fridays, usually on the Gratitude List show. So, there is a cross-section of politics, I guess, on this show by that very nature. I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred, leading us towards a world that I do not want to live in, leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter. She doesn't have any kids. She's 23. She's not married, doesn't have any kids. You know what I mean? Leaning us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. Leaning us towards a world that is fearful. What if you only have boys? You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear the pixies in my head, man. We'll have all sons. They will be all well hung. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, that's. I was all dressed in black. She was all dressed up in black. I was wearing eyeliner. She was wearing eyeliner. Way, way down in the subculture. Da, da, da. Those are two different Pixie songs. I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. I'm heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning. And I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This loss should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. What? You lost by 3.5 million votes. That wasn't bad. I echo Ethel's Kane statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Here we go. So there's 4 pages of this. There are 4 things, and she had a response to this too. All right. There's also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying the number of people who stand behind this man, what this man preaches. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. There is no help, no counsel in any of them. I could go on. I won't. She will. I feel sad. You probably do too. No, I'm kind of, ambivalent. Fuck this. Get off of Elon's app, by the way. The fuck are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected. You might have a point there. And you're giving him business. I was talking about finding catharsis in art. I don't care if you're going to pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find something real to be mad at today. There's plenty to go around. Okay, that's all. Going on stage for Act 2 now and need to get off my soapbox before I get too heated. Sending love to everyone who needs it today. May we all carry each other through the worst and hold these politicians accountable. Your Democratic governors just got very important. They already were, but hey, follow your governors, hold them accountable. Local government is where we will make real change. That is true. And everyone should be more concerned about local government. Seriously, your alderman, your mayor, the select people, the people that's spending the money for the resources in your town. This is not the end, ever. Good, it's not. I will love through these 4 years as best as I can. Fuck Donald Trump. Yay! So, fast forward to about a couple of days ago. On Thursday night, this is from Newsbreak, whatever this is. On Thursday night, the 23-year-old actress posted a new message on Instagram. She had deleted those previous 3 pages of stuff from Newsbreak. Hi, everyone. I would like to sincerely apologize for the election post I shared on Instagram last week. I let the emotions get the best of me. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding. And I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. This week has been an emotion for so many of us. But I firmly believe that everyone has the right to their opinion. You do. Seriously. Even when it differs from my own, I am committed to contributing positively towards a better tomorrow. Mo's got it. Oh my God, apology. Yeah, because the first one, and this is something Teresa pointed out in her video, that that 4-pager that she deleted, that was in the authentic Rachel Zegler voice. And this terse, concise, well thought of, buzzy, wordy thingy, must come from the Disney PR publicist. Yeah, lots of different people voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, but I didn't vote for Harris. I voted for, it doesn't matter who I voted for. I voted for a third party. I voted for Dr. Jill Stein. I don't even agree with her politics. I think it's important to vote for a third party because a two-party system is one party away from being a one-party system. And we're already kind of there with the whole uniparty thing and pharmaceuticals and the yakety schmack and the blah, 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 and the woofity woof all down the line. You know what I mean? Pika knows what I mean. Thank you, Pika. Pika understands me. And, yeah, I don't think she cares. Well, I wonder what Disney's going to do now. That's the big thing. It's like, what will Disney do now? Do they shelve this movie like Warner Brothers did with the Leslie Grace Batgirl movie for tax reasons? It got it's called a write-off. I'm not an economist. I'm not a tax consultant or an accountant. I am a chef, but like, you know, a write-off is something you do if you're taxes. So they get a write-off like the entire production budget because it was a failure or something, and something like that. Yeah. I mean, like Disney had to do reshoots, and this should have been out last year. Now, if this movie had been released already, then every time Rachel Zegler opens her mouth, she's not by adjacency, representing Disney. Is she representing Disney? You know, as I like to say, I don't have answers. All I have are more questions, such as like think of it like you're a musician. Hey, Dwayne Muth, good to see you. Hello, buddy. Hey, Mike Ortego. Hi, Mike Ortego. Did he just say something Mother Teresa pointed out in her video? Kidding. I know I heard wrong. It was Teresa Campagna of Jester Bell. And here, I'm going to drop her a link to an amazing video she just did on this very subject of Rachel Zegler. It's a 20-minute video. And if you haven't subscribed to Jester Bell yet, then go right ahead. She's a great content creator. I love what she's got to say. And I've done panels with her on Wes's Thinking Critical, Comics Aficionados in the past. So it's like, she's really cool. And yeah, I mean, so if the movie had released last year, it would already have been memory hold. Or maybe, who knows, maybe it would have been a fucking smash. We don't know yet because we haven't seen the movie. She can sing, she can dance. I mean, she's got to have a musical number in this. That was like one of the big parts of her Hunger Games movie was like she had a musical number. And you know what? My best friend with the 14-year-old daughter, and she was 12 2 years ago when that came out, big Hunger Games fan, they went to the movies to see it. And I'm always like, what did she think? What does she like? I want to know like what the kid thinks about this stuff that we usually bag on in our outrage culture. She's like, oh, wow, she effing loved it, man, especially the musical number. Like Rachel Zegler, can really nail it. She was Maria in West Side Story. You know, I hadn't seen, to be honest with you, I don't think I've seen West Side Story in my adult life. I'm sure I should have seen it as a kid, and I grew up with it steeped in, like, in this whole, the culture of like music and musicals and film. But yeah, so, oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'll get you, Gadget, if it's the last thing I do.
Dr. Claw, anyone? Hey, did you know I do voices? I really do. But coming back to Disney and saying really mean shit about people, okay, it's a gig. She's an actress. It was a gig. It was a gig she did 3 years ago. And it's, That's funny. That's kind of. I want to see Axel Braun Snow White. Maybe they can get Riley Reid to play, the Snow White, and she earns that name. Oh boy, the only Perch would know that reference. Oh my God, dirty bird sitting on the curb, chirping and burping and eating dirty earthworms. Along came Herbie from 33rd and 3rd and said, "Hey, dirty birds. Oi, what they just jibed." But here's what I wanted to show and bring up. I'm going to share this tab instead. This is the Instagram post that got Gina Carano, quote unquote, fired from Disney about 3 years ago. And she's an outspoken conservative. She got into a lot of hot water because, the alphabet mob came after her online and said, "We demand your pronouns." I guess my answer would be, "Oh, my pronouns are fucking off. You can put them in any order you want, or fucking you fuck." I don't mean that. No, I mean, that's an old joke, from high school. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, I got 2 words for you, Chief. Fuck you. Put them in any order you want, you fuck. That's where that came from. So it's like, I've adapted it to the pronoun thing. So like, hey, I demand your pronouns, yeah, fucking you. Put them in any order you want, you fuck. So she did the same thing with that same kind of spirit and energy. Like my pronouns are beep, bop, and boop. And she's imitating droid speak. And, but this is, and it's like, this is a quote. She wrote the top part saying about Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. And that's the picture of you know what I mean? And just like, and this was 3 years ago too. So what she did was to make a mistake, though. I mean, I've read, okay, because history is edited. This is a quote, and this quote came from a different source. It wasn't written by Ms. Carano herself. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jewish people, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jewish people. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Well, seriously, that's where the whole, that's where he got tripped up, because she didn't say that. She was like, she quoted somebody else. And, kind of like Catcher in the Rye. She got banned in Boston. But J.D. Salinger, Catcher in the Rye. Why? Because it had vulgarity in there. Not profanity, but vulgarity. It said, fuck you. Here we go again with fucking you. And what did Holden Caulfield say? Fuck you? No, he read it in graffiti on the side of the wall. He said it to himself, and he's like, oh, and there's fuck you written on the wall. So the intent was, so Holden's not telling anyone off. He's describing what's written on the graffiti on the wall in Manhattan. Dude, yeah. But you can't, okay, there's an equivocation here, especially a sensitivity with Jewish people. I believe that there are, well, let's look it up real quick. How many, Siri, please. No, don't say that, because how many Jewish people on the planet? I think it's 3.5 million. No, 15.7 million people are Jewish out of 8 billion. And it's a very, that's not a lot, and listen, I got no opinion on Palestine and Israel. I mean, seriously, I learned this the hard way. In like 2001, I'm a huge NPR news junkie. The 10 o'clock news show was a magazine show, and 2-hour-long episodes on different erudite subjects. And I learned from the message boards at WBUR 90.9, WBUR FM, sponsored by you, our listeners, and a generous grant from Flubochem. and and makers of stummies. And cool, yay, and good to see you. You're wrong. You know what I mean? Oh, Jesus. Dwayne, yeah. Someone asked me at the hospital a year ago when I checked in for my hernia operation. She was like, okay, this and that, and what are your preferred pronouns? And I'm like, I'm too old for that. No, I'm not answering that. And she was like, and she just nodded her head. She was like, that's it, Yeah, and there's been a lot of that equivocation, and only Hitler could be Hitler. And Hitler did, yeah, one of the funniest satirical jokes I've heard in a long time was like, oh yeah, Hitler did a good thing. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? Yeah, Hitler killed Hitler. That is actually a funny joke. And you know what I mean? Think about he would have been tried and executed. I'm totally into watching Nazis hang on YouTube. Holy shit. The Russians gave the concentration camp guards and the women concentration camp guards in Russia and in Poland, they gave them the short drop. And thousands and thousands and thousands of people showed up to watch them hang. Wow. So the American prisoners got a mercy that the Polish and Russians did not give. I'm not going to explain the short drop to you. You got to Google that. Yeah, I mean, and Mo's coming from us live from Saudi Arabia. So it's like, you know what I mean? I just like, that's a good way to put it. They're both assholes. I like that because that's just that's a Salancha, skull. Hey, how do you say cheers? In Arabic, like, you know what I mean? Like cheers to your health. Salud. Is it salam? Is salam a universal? But you don't really drink in your culture, do you? I was just wait a second. Let's roll that back. But yeah, that was Gina Carano's thing. I don't know if and even showing this shit was gonna get me in trouble. I don't care. I mean, I'll just take it down. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilms, and there are no plans for her in the future. Nonetheless, continued the spokesperson, the official Star Wars Disney employee this came from the official channels, continued the spokesperson. Did they have a name for the spokesperson? This is from Forbes from February 12th, 2021. And those are screenshots of her now deleted posts. Because you can't make the equivocation between the Holocaust and anything. That's such a personal affront. If there are 15.7 million Jews in the world today, 80 years after World War II, I'm getting ahead of myself with World War IV. Oh, thank you. Fi Sihatak. Thanks. Well, 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. And here's something, because I have read the fall and the rise and the fall of the Third Reich by William Shirer 4 times in the past 30 years. I'm an old guy. I'm 52. I reread it recovering from my hernia. I think it's a really good thing to reread, especially in this day of social media where where you get called a Nazi and people get compared to Hitler, or you're comparing something to fascism, and so it's interesting to see the parallels in history, to learn from history. And Rise and Fall of the Third Reich is an amazingly long, detailed, and it's an accurate book. It was written by William Shirer, who was a journalist and in Europe for World War II. It was published in 1947, 1948. So it came out so shortly after World War II. You had all this documented material. The Nazis were fucking sick on documenting everything. They thought they were on the right side of history. So they had everything documented. Oh my gosh, that survived. And So 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, but the 12 million that were with Romani, gypsies, homosexuals, there are 12 million that were mechanically and industrially murdered by Nazis. The 6 million of the Jewish people in that total, that is only the Holocaust. The Holocaust does not include gypsies and homosexuals. And that is a part of of respecting Jewish history and culture, and even, dare I say, non-negatively, their victimhood. That, I mean, like, I've been corrected a few times by different Jewish people. They're like, no, the Romani and the homosexuals are not part of the Holocaust. They call that a learning moment. I'm a dumb Irish Catholic kid. What do I know? I just know history. I know that 12 million people, humans in Europe, were liquidated, murdered for existing because of their identity, of who they were. So to make the equivocation, see, this is a bad equivocation. And that's what got her in trouble. And because you can't equivocate that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's actually closer to the F word for a gay slur. You know what I mean? A bundle of sticks. It means fascistia. It means like bundle of sticks. You know, I mean, I'm reading the Lord of the Rings trilogy right now, and they use the word queer, like, oh, they're queer folk. I can see why you can't shake the alphabet community off of this one, man. They're like, it was made for us. It's been coded all this time. There was a regimented symbolic. There was code that you had certain patches on your clothing that you had to wear that identified you as your label of who you are, of your identity assigned by the government. The government has identified you as a Jewish person. Therefore, you have to wear the 6-pointed star that's mocking your Star of David. And it's usually yellow in color. But the color also represents, so if like, there was a triangle, an upside down triangle with the point going down, and the pink color. And then there would also be a number system involved. And then there was also another thing for the Romani. And so you could have a pink triangle with, like, a couple of markings making like they would identify you as like you are a non-practicing gay person. You weren't busted performing a homosexual act. Therefore, you're not going to be like it's so fucking, yeah. Wow. Read the Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William Shirer. Get it on Amazon. And but that's kind of like, yeah, that's the pink triangle. That's what, and that's the pink triangle was taken back. It was since it was foisted on them. The gay community kept the pink triangle, and as a bitter reminder, too, of what can happen in this hateful world, just because you're gay. Someone's going to want to kill you. That's horrible. And in the Jewish people's case, same thing. Or in the Romani's case, the same thing. But yeah, so that's why Gina Carano, she was a contract actor, though. She was between contracts. There were plans on her character, Cara Dune, from the Mandalorian show, not only appearing in season 3, but having her own spinoff show called Rangers of the Galaxy. There was like the Rangers outfit that she was in. She was supposed to have led a show that got scrubbed for Disney Plus. And but yeah, I mean, and also she that is the the Gina Carano post that got her in. That's what got her fired. And she's successfully suing Disney, and Disney they're in a phase called discovery, which is a legal thing where they have to show all the documentation internally, email, memos, tweets, so she was okay, and going back to the spokesperson who's not identified, a Lucas spokesperson said in a statement Wednesday in 2021, Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. Carano has also been dropped as a client by UTA, a talent agency. I think it's the United Talent Agency. An agency spokesperson confirmed her talent agency dropped her. Yeah, the New Republic Marshal. Yeah, and and she was just a notorious conservative. No, I didn't. And but so what makes Rachel Zegler any different than Gina Carano? Is it because she is woke and she's a lefty and a progressive? Therefore, she's a sacred cow. I mean, what's the difference? Why are we wasn't that abhorrent? Seriously. Let's go back to come on, you. Share. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. Who I don't know Ethel Kane. What was Ethel Kane? We could look it up, but I don't care really. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. There's a deep sickness, a deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. Basically, what? Election results. It was 76,429,164 votes, 50.1% of the popular vote versus 73 million. So it's 3 million. So it's 4. So it's 2 million. 73,736,923 votes. Harris got 48.3% of the popular vote. Jill Stein, got 763,027 votes. Robert Kennedy got 73,073 votes. Chase Oliver of the Libertarian Party got 635,000 votes. And that total would not have helped Kamala Harris win. Trump still would have won. But I mean, that's a pretty close. That's by 2000 and it's almost 2.4, 2.3, 2.4 million votes separated the two. Yeah. Pedro Pascal said some nasty things too. So, and that's going to come out in Discovery. So it is terrifying the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. It's a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. There is no help, no counsel in any of them. This is, wow. So what separates? Where are the consequences for this person? I mean, like I said, like she's got chutzpah, man. She's spicy. She's a Latina. She's young. She's brash. She's full of the third wave feminism. This is a young woman, a young American woman from a mixed house. She's half Polish. She's half Latina, half Polish. And just wow. Yeah. in spirit, they did. I was going to vote for RFK. He wasn't on the ballot here in Massachusetts. So I have a choice of basically the Green or the Libertarian Party, because this is Massachusetts, and no way that Kamala Harris wasn't going to win the 11 electoral votes of my Commonwealth. I mean, the only time that Massachusetts went Republican was 1980 by a considerable margin in Ronald Reagan's, landslide victory. And then in 84 by a very slim margin. And before that was 1952 and 1956 for Dwight Eisenhower. And that's the only 2 times in modern history that Massachusetts voted red. Every else, it's been blue. I'm in a blue state. I'm in a blue city, in a blue state. And I call it Blue England now. It's New England. No, it's Blue England. Trust me. And, but yeah. But a spokesperson from Disney called what Gina said abhorrent. You know what I mean? And good luck with Gina Carano and your lawsuit. Seriously, that'd be great if you won that. Really would. Awesome. Well, let's get to some comic books. Why don't we? Why don't we get to some funnies? Let me access this stuff here. Dun, 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 dun. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I read 14 Marvel books this week, in addition to what's in the bag. 1 DC book, 2 Skybound image books. What did we get this week? After these messages. I read 14 Marvel books this week. Let's see. What did I read? I read Werewolf by Night #4 Red Band. I didn't buy it. I read it. This is from my digital pirate chest. Arg! That's right. I don't pirate these. I'm just connected in a circle of reviewers that I get asked my review opinion, and I get asked on Wes's show, because it's like, that's what we do. We read all these new comic books and then we talk about them. So I'm in the know. Werewolf by Night #4, written by Jason Liu. It has a real penciler and a real inker, and it's really well drawn, and it's the Red Band edition, so it's over the top bloody. It just doesn't kind of matter. I don't know if this is the last issue. It might be. Oh, wow. The chat is blowing up. Getting apolitically incorrect here. I love it. But yeah. Let's fulfill the clickbait. I mean, yeah. Woke Rachel Zegler! Fucking pronouns! Fucking A, man. Fucking pronouns! And if you know who Az from Heel versus Babyface is, well, you have my condolences. I'm kidding. I was a big fan of his for years. I definitely sent enough super chat money to have paid for maybe 1, maybe 2, definitely 1, maybe 2 of those 1/6 scale toys behind him. And he got me actually, into it too. I mean, that Han and Han Solo and Carbonite there, that's a 1/6 scale from Hot Toys. And I got turned on to that from Az and Robert Meyer Burnett. So yeah, Werewolf by Night #4 didn't do a damn thing for me. Venom War Wolverine #3 of 3, written by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks, of whom do one of my favorite fucking books called Local Man on Image Comics, with art by Kev Walker. And I'm like, I love Kev Walker art, and this is terrible Kev Walker art. This is he definitely phoned it in on this one. It's just, yeah. And it's a tie-in to the Venom. There are 38 issues of the Venom War that are out there. I mean, just like in this mini event. It's not even a Spidey event. Spidey has a role in it. And that's that. Yeah. So there are there are 3 Venom books, Venom War books. There's Venom 39, written by Torrin Grönbeck, which is pretty good. I mean, it's decent. I mean, I like Torrin Grönbeck now. I mean, she's actually started writing Catwoman over on DC Comics. We'll see if that goes anywhere. I read the first issue of that, and it was like, it really felt like a Daredevil story, which, maybe because it's like the art, just plug and play. Like, I wonder if Torrin Grönbeck had a Daredevil story, and then since she got the DC gig, she's like, I can just switch out Matt Murdock for Selena Kyle. And I could totally see that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Venom 39 it's cogent and it's decent. And I like Grönbeck. There was also Venom War Deadpool by Colin Bunn, who used to be a Deadpool writer. I was never in the Deadpool. 30 years of Deadpool, and I've really never, I never really did. Mohammed, good to see you. Salam, thank you so much from the other side of the world. Coming to us live and direct from Saudi Arabia. Salam, Mohammed. Salam, Mohammed. Thank you so very much for tuning in and sharing your time with us. Hey, James, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you? From the Boston studios. That's right. I'm not tuned into it. The Batman and Robin by Philip K. Johnson. It's interesting because I like Joshua Williamson's writing for the most part. I've gotten plenty of issues. I read pretty much the first 10 issues of Batman and Robin by Williamson. I didn't like the Simone DeMeo artwork. And then the other pickup artist they had was terrible too. So it was just like, I like DeMeo's line work, but the fucking coloring is so garish. And everything's in bisexual lighting that I call everqueer. Oh, look, it's purple and it's pink. Oh, just the way we like it. I mean, put out your hands, stick out your tush, hands on your hips, give them a push. You're doing the French mistake. Voila! It sounds like steam escaping in here. So, but I've been getting Joshua Williamson's I got his entire run of Superman, his current run. It's on my pull list. I like Superman. It's a good book for me. So I'm usually entertained by Joshua Williamson. So then there was the handover, and I like Philip Kennedy Johnson more, I guess, because I'm into Hulk. I mean, Hulk's also on my poll list too. I love his Incredible Hulk. I usually love everything that Philip Kennedy Johnson writes. He's got a new one coming out soon that I got to put on my poll list. It's a World War II. Philip Kennedy Johnson he's got Sergeant Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos. He's got the Ghost Rider of World War II that he sets up in his Hulk book. He's got Logan, pre-Weapon X, pre-Wolverine, Logan of the Canadian military. And so he's using all the pieces of the World War II books. I loved World War II books growing up. I loved Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, Dum Dum Duggan and the gang. I loved Sergeant Rock and Easy Company. I love GI Combat, Haunted Tank, Unknown Soldier, Enemy Ace. My uncle had stacks of these comic books. Growing up, my dad would come and pick me up on a Saturday or a Sunday. He'd bring me over to his mom's house, who would have Sunday dinner, and I would just hang out in my uncle's room and play his Eddie Murphy, his Richard Pryor cassettes, and Steve Martin and George Carlin cassettes, and read his comic books. And this was in the mid 70s or late 70s, and there was just all these war comics that he wrote, he bought. So yeah, Venom War Deadpool, number 3 of 3. Sure. Uncanny X-Men #5 by Gail Simone, and art by David Marquez. The art is pretty good. I mean, I think this concludes Gail Simone's first arc. We've introduced new characters. We've got a core team. This is Rogue's team. Rogue and Gambit's got a team. Logan's there. Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and a bunch of kids. New mutants. New mutants. It's not great. It's severely okay. It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck enough to fucking talk shit about it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's competent. It's totally written for the trade paperback, the collected edition, and yeah. I mean, they keep saying that, like, Gail Simone's missing Rogue's voice character-wise. Yet, I think she's fucking nailing it on Remy LeBeau. I love Gail Simone's writing a really good Gambit. Gambit's so funny, wry. That's like he's completely in character, and it's so, I like it. Yeah. Coming to one of my major disappointments, and why would I get angry at a comic book? Why would I get angry at a comic book? Just don't read it. Just save yourself the hassle. Don't read it. Well, I'm reading this because I'm a reviewer, and I'm in a reviewer culture, and I get access to free books. I don't have to spend money on it. But what I do is I do spend money on the books that I love, and I go back and I get them. And we were talking about poll lists earlier on Twitter, and I shared mine. What's my poll list? Well, look at G.I. Joe Energon Universe, G.I. Joe A Real American Hero, Transformers, Rook Exodus, Savage Dragon, which is new to my poll list and to my reading, The Sacrificers, and those are all on Image. Then there's 2 Dark Horses, but they're limited. We got Nightclub 2, Nemesis Road Gallery. There's Flash Gordon on Mad Cave, written by Jeremy Adams. Then on Marvel, we only got 2 books on Marvel. We got Incredible Hulk and Ultimate Spider-Man. And on DC, we've got Green Lantern by Jeremy Adams. We've got Joshua Williamson's really, really awesome Superman. It just makes me happy. I like it. I get Absolute Superman on my pull list, but I'm going to do that for at least the first 4 issues. I will try it. I'll spend $20 on this. I'm going to give it a try. That's what it's about sometimes. Hellblazer, Dead in America, DC Black Label by Cy Spurrier. But this is the closest thing I've ever seen in a modern John Constantine that comes close to his voice and his characterization in the old Vertigo days. I am a huge John Constantine Hellblazer fan of that Vertigo era, in the pre-Vertigo era, of that Sandman era. You know what I mean? Like, Constantine was just, you had Neil Gaiman over on Sandman, and he did the whole fucking thing. But you had John Constantine Hellblazer, and you had like every poignant, hot British writer on that book. And the first American writer on that book was Brian Azzarello. And he had John come over to the States. And John doesn't drive. And he kind of he's like the walking dude, or like Kwai Chi Kang of Kung Fu. He ambles and he takes lifts and rides. But he does, and it's a part of his character. I love it. But Brian Azzarello was the first American writer to handle Constantine. And this was like, what, in the 170s, the 160s, like right before issue 200. I mean, geez, that was some good shit. So This Cy Spurrier one, it's like, it's written by Cy Spurrier, but he's really nailing a lot of shit. And it's really the closest thing to a real authentic John Constantine that I've seen in ages out of DC Comics. And I'm there for it and I'll support it because I'm a huge Hellblazer fan. Mike Ortego says, I'm not a reviewer, so I don't want to waste my money. That's why I'm thankful for channels like yours and Thinking Critical to tell me what's worth picking up. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Rook Exodus is great. I'm loving Savage Dragon. I've only tuned on to Savage Dragon 4 issues ago, and I've been so pleased with it. I'm like, you know what? I'll spend money on you. It's an adult humor. It's an acquired taste. It's out there. It's wacky. It's ribald. It's got great art. Art Larson is like a cross between Kirby and Frank Miller. Superhero poses, incredible like dynamic panels and storytelling, familiar tropes, satirical shit. Just playing and hamming up the superhero cliches and tropes. I love it. Here I am gushing about about Savage Dragon. Yeah, I'm in. So I'm only getting Incredible Hulk and Ultimate Spider-Man. I was getting Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko, written and drawn by this one of my favorite artists in Marvel. I love Peach Momoko's stuff. We'll get back. Let's take a pin in that, but let's finish up my poll list. So I got Hellblazer, and the upcoming books I just added to my poll list are Aquaman, written by Jeremy Adams, it's coming out soon. Green Lantern Corps, written by Jeremy Adams, which is coming out soon, and New Gods, written by Ram V, with art by Evan Cagle. Those two just did Dawn Runner, which is really interesting, kind of Evangelion-inspired kaiju versus mecha kind of thing, and the mind trip, and AI, and what is are you dead? You're a program in a computer. You died in the suit or something, and it downloaded your mind and soul. But it did, shit like that. That's question. I like Ram V stuff for the most part. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I love the New Gods. I swear, I got the Kirby fucking omnibus, the Fourth World omnibus. I got it like half off. It's my mom used to say, it's not what you save, it's not what you spend, it's what you save. You want it? It's 50%, it's 60% off. Do it. And that's what I did. This book, it's a hardcover omnibus of the Jack Kirby Fourth World. It's 9.6 pounds. It's a 10-pound book. It's impossible to read in bed. And you can't bring it with you on the T, on public transportation. It's appointment reading. And I don't do a lot of that. And I dropped Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men at issue 4. So I've 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've skipped the past 5 issues. I spent $20 on it. And I was left with a really kind of, I choose to be angry about this one. I mean, pick your hill, I guess. Who is bitching about Ultimate X-Men? I love Peach Momoko's art. She's from Japan, so this is, it's the ultimate world. But it's all girl stuff. Here's your dramatis personae. Armor, girl. May, Storm, girl. Nico is a fledgling psychic, girl. Mori is Nico's friend, girl. Natsu, girl. Psylocke, Quanon. Noriko, girl. Surge. And then you have the Children of the Atom. They're kind of like the Brotherhood of evil mutants. And you have Viper. That's Lady Cobra, right? Is it Cobra? What's it? Help me out, Dwayne. Viper is Lady fucking. What the is it? Is it Cobra? The Marvel Cobra? I'm misremembering the Serpent Society of the Marvel bad guys. And there's the Maester. Look at him. He's this creepy dude. Hydra. Thank you. There we are. That's Lady Hydra. Viper. So we have this creepy old dude, and then every other man in this comic book is a self-deletion victim. They're creepy. They're a perv. They're weak. This is all girl heavy. I hate this book. I fucking hate this book. It is beautiful. This is my sensibility. I love this art. I love Peach Momoko's style. I love the colors. And I should love this book, but it doesn't give me a reason. That's the Shadow King's host. He's a boy. And just like all the male characters on this are creepy, abusive. Like Maelstrom's father smacks her around and he's weak. He's so that he gets tempted by by Surge. They're always, this is a terrible, terrible book. That's Maelstrom's father. And what's he doing with Surge? And these two have lightning powers and they're going to fight. I mean, there are no X-Men in this book. There's 9 issues so far. The art is so pretty, AL. I agree. I love Peach's art. Everyone knows this. This is I'm a sucker for a Peach Momoko variant cover. But I am just, and I like the end of it. It has these cultural cues that it's really well done. But this is a girl's book. It's not made for me. Why should I care about this book? I mean, I feel like it's a bait and switch. I mean, we're going to get Ultimate Wolverine soon. He's like some kind of Weapon X. They did like there's some kind of Winter Soldier story to him where they defrost him when they need a hit done. I totally feel that. We got. Let's go down the line in the chat. We got AL saying, "Well, the art looks pretty." Exactly. I love her art. Dwayne Muth says Peach rocks as an illustrator, but the rest garbage and toilet. I love your usage. I love your use of the emojis. Keep it coming. This issue is not an X-Men book, says Lane Kramer. You're right. AL says they shouldn't have called it X-Men. You know what I mean? Ultimate X-Men is less X-Men than From the Ashes. Pretty much. At least Gail Simone, you have uniforms. You have X's on their belt buckles. You have authentic voice. I mean, it's not hard to write Kurt Wagner a Nightcrawler. He's happy. He's got a sense of humor, a sense of grace. He's aloof, and he's got an accent. He's got the German accent, and his W's turn out to be V's. Hi, I'm Kurt Wagner, and I'm known as Nightcrawler. I loved X-Men too. I liked all of those. I pretty much liked all the X-Men movies, except for the First Class movies, the First Class era. I was hoping, but I was rooting for her. But it's not terrible. It's completely competent. It's by the numbers. It's just when they bust my balls on Comics Aficionados when I go it was okay. Like, Sully, you shouldn't be just accepting just okay books. I was like, well, I read it, Adam Frey, you're never late. You're a wizard is always right on time. I'm literally reading Lord of the Rings for the first time in my life. Unabridged audiobook versions. Andy Serkis is reading Two Towers and then Return of the King. Two Towers is my favorite Jackson movie of that trilogy. And this is so far my favorite book. Theoden, King of the Rohan, he's my favorite character. Fucking love Theoden. Great stuff. I am too. I'm going to, gosh, I was such a big fan of original Ultimate Spider-Man. Keep your eyes on the road and your hands upon the wheel. Wah, 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 wah. The future's uncertain and the end is always near. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll. All night. That's right. I think it's a mini. But yeah, I mean, Ultimate X-Men makes me angry. I think it would break Peach's heart if she heard my anger, because she knows I love her. We're saving that one for the last. Yeah, because alphabetically we're going down the list. But yeah, that was Ultimate X-Men, issue 9. Star Wars Ewoks, issue 2 by Steve Orlando. This is probably one of the worst fucking Star Wars stories I've ever read in my life. It's about Ewoks. And the Empire is here. And we have Forlom and Zuckuss. We have Chief Chirpa and Wicket. I can't even look. I don't want to look at this anymore. My gosh. This book is more disappointing than my love life. Terrible. But I read every Star Wars comic book that I get in my pirate chest. I really do. I will eternally root for Star Wars. And it's like, but I've gotten to the point where I compartmentalize it, where it's like nothing Disney does can disappoint me because it's not Lucas era. Lucas era is closed. It ended in 2012, and it can't be harmed by whatever Disney does. It can't. So, oh my God. Terrible book. Spectacular Spider-Man. It's the team up book between Miles and Peter. It's awful. Avoid it. Psylocke #1, written by you, Alyssa Wong. I love people that got me blocked on Twitter, but now I can read her posts. Holy shit, George Lucas. There you are. There you are. Holy shit. Psylocke it's a terrible issue. From the Ashes, a New Beginning. We have Quanon doesn't listen. Quanon is an Asian character. She's Asian. She doesn't look very Asian. She looks very white. I thought the whole point. And look at all this purple and pink. And those are the intrinsic colors of Psylocke's uniform. But it's all this bisexual lighting, all this everqueer. It's here. And it's just... Yeah, here we go. She doesn't look very Asian. I mean, I'm sorry. And this is spinning out of the Jed MacKay Ryan Stegman arc. That's the team in Alaska. She looks like Betsy. Exactly. I mean, like, what's the deal? I mean, the whole point was that Jim Lee made Quanon because he wanted an Asian girl. He's Asian, he's Korean. You know? I get it. You know, I think they're gonna finally they're gonna finally put Ilyana and Kitty together now that Kitty Pryde has actual pride. And she's embraced her inner femininity so much that she can embrace the outer femininity of another woman and explore that part of her kiddiness. You know what I mean? Ilyana, I mean, they've been friends since they were tykes, little ones, you know, teenagers, tweens, preteens, they grew up together. You know, you don't think that they didn't have a crush on each other? It wasn't coded. It's there the entire time. Come on, stop being such a hateful phobe. You know it as well. Next, you're going to be saying that Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm aren't gay coded together. Those two have been bitchy at each other since day one. Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm, they're next. Okay, just to let you guys know. We're taking them away from you next. You're going to have fanboy tears in my coffee. Don't give them any ideas. I've been sitting on that joke for fucking months, man. I had to go with it. Seriously, it's because the whole fucking the reveal of the Silver Surfer being gender swapped in the upcoming MCU Fantastic Four movie with Pedro Pascal. I mean, happy gender swap. There you go. Yay, gender swap. Yay. That's what I got to think about gender swap. Your gender swap. In its ear. In its other ear. NYX was fucking terrible. It's Lansing and Kelly. And man, no thanks. Deadpool number 8 by Cody Ziegler. I've been giving it kind of bon mots because it was better than the Alyssa Wong Deadpool. And I've been liking Cody Ziegler's stuff, kind of. I liked Spider-Punk Arms Race a lot. And I've been reading his Miles Morales for over a year now because it's part of my, pirate chest. So it's like I'm completely tuned into. I like his Miles Morales book. I think it's a completely decent, competent Marvel floppy. Why this shit? That should be a $2.99 book on a fucking newsstand. Get that book in the kids' hands. I mean, it ain't terrible. It really isn't. But his Deadpool number 8 is because Wade's dead. Yeah, he got stabbed by a Murasama. What's the blade that can hurt Wolverine? It has the souls in it. The Murasama blade, and it negated his healing ability. And so Wade's currently dead. So his daughter Ellie is taken over, and then there's the symbiote dog kind of thing. That's Dogpool-ish, and but it's lost that sense of humor, the one-liners. The one thing that's good about Deadpool is that it's slapsticky, and it's schlocky, and it's got a shtick, and it sticks to it. And when it sticks to it, it's good because it's stupid and it's supposed to be fun. And it's Deadpool's easy if you can write funny. I read it. It was okay. I'm still mad at Jenny Lynn Hayden for cheating on Kyle Rayner back in the day. That was really bad of her. Fuck you. I was on the heels of a bad breakup, so that same thing happened to me. At least I didn't walk in on them. You know what I mean? And I didn't. He should imagine if he fucking silver lining that guy. You know what I mean? With his power ring. Yikes. A very competent Marvel book written by Steve Orlando this week. And it's issue 3 of because there's a new 2099 thing going on. And so you have a girl Star-Lord, which I think is fucking awful. And that's up there with the King Valkyrie in the fucking Thor movie. It's like, no. I mean, fuck you. But there are pencilers, there are inkers. This book looks decent, looks really good. There's a Silver Surfer in 2099. That's like an amalgam of Silver Surfer and Nova. The real female Silver Surfer of Herald of Galactus woman was Nova. This is not bad. Lane, we are disagreeing, and that's fine because we're friends, and it's okay to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything. That's I thought this was okay. It's just I'm walking. I think I've skipped the first two issues. So walking into an issue 3 of an ongoing thing, and I know enough that I know who Nova is. And look, you got 2 X-Men there. That's Phoenix, and that's a guy named Cyclops. You've got Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man, 2099. I don't know who the fuck that is, but that's a Venom suit. That's a symbiote. I don't know which one that is. And Nova, that's the last remaining person of the Nova Corps. And who is it? It's fucking Logan. And the whole thing is he must have lost an arm somewhere that didn't regenerate right. So he's got one bone claw hand and one adamantium claw hand. And everyone hates Dracula or something. And this is okay. I mean, this is easy to follow. It's over the top. It's got lots of good fight scenes and poses and decent art. I mean, I'm not buying it. I'm not spending my money on it, but like I'm saying, it's just like here's one. Yeah, this is Star, and you attack Star-Lord, and it's a chick. No, you could be Lady Star. What did you do now, Lane Kramer? I know I got into trouble a little bit with employees at my local comic book shops. I did mention I prefer reading hetero heroes. She has they, them tattooed on her hands. Oh, yeah. What? Well, don't wait. You can be like her oppressor now. It's kind of what happened to me at my last local comic book shop. One of the 3 girls that worked there, so they turned on me from, I think, watching our videos here and seeing my snark. And then the other 2 turned on me because chicks talk. That's all they do, and talk to each other. I know, because I was raised by women. We had this sign on the fridge. This my grandma and my mom and my 3 aunties. There was a sign, like a magnet on the fridge that said, "Don't worry about telling about yourself. We'll talk about you when you leave." Hashtag believe all women. We got J. Michael Straczynski and Jesus C.A.'s on Captain America 15, Legacy issue 765. I guess he's wrapping up his run on Captain America. This one it's pretty, you can follow it. The art's pretty good. And it's so much easier to follow than that fucking stupid theater shit. All right. Let's talk about wah. Excuse me. Sláinte. Stand by 1 second. All righty, I got you. All right. Have a good rest of the weekend. AL, thank you so much for coming by. Good to see you. Oh, God bless you. Seriously. I mean, yeah. And like, you know, and cheers. Much love. So yeah, we have a new writer on Spider-Man. This is Amazing Spider-Man 61. It's the Zeb Wells era is over. Was this bad? No, I didn't. I liked it. It just starts off in medias res. Peter loses the contents of his backpack. So there's a lot going on in this first panel. This is a splash page. Splash page is a nice big image that takes up. And that's it. Is it a 2-pager? See, this is what we do. Like, you know, no, this is. Rick Jones album, Wake Up Dead. That's cute. Rick Jones is the sidekick of Marvel. Aunt May's Feast Money. Spidey's camera. And I like the thing, it doesn't say Sony. It says Phony. Phony. So that's cute. There's Peter's phone, his iPhone. And he's in the middle of the sky. And he lost his bag. He's got a Deadpool sticker on his. It's a bike backpack. I know, because I take I have a bag of life. I don't have a car. This is my car trunk in my glove compartment. It's in my satchel bag. I used to have a bike courier bag for like the longest time. I call it the bag of life, and everything essential is in there. A spare inhaler, you know what I mean? Some, you know, just like enough room so you don't bend your comic books, you know. And then he's just like in the middle, and this is a double page spread right here. So this is page 1. When you open up the inside cover, this is the first page you see. And then you turn the page and you have this double page spread right here. And all this this is really good Ed McGuinness art, and it's inked by Mark Farmer. And I really dig it. So look behind Spidey right there. That's Aunt May's money for Feast, Feast, the shelter that she's working for. And that's also where Bailey Briggs, the Spider Boy, is like taking refuge too. And this is some new kind of just villain of the week named Burnout, villain of the moment. And there's a lot of quippiness and a lot of, you know, this catches you up real quick. And Peter's figuring out, like, oh shit, I lost my wallet. Like, oh shit, I lost my phone. Like, oh shit, I lost Aunt May's money. And that's, Aunt May's like, can you deposit this today? The Feast needs to clear checks for the share a day. It's like totally on Aunt May. And he lost his keys. And he's trying to date this girl named Shay. And then Dr. Doom shows up. That's all there is to it. It's like Dr. Doom. That's like, he's got the Eye of Sidorak. He's got the cape. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. Now, this happened in the last huge Marvel crossover event called Blood Hunt, where Dr. Doom could save everyone, but Stephen Strange had to give him the title and power of Sorcerer Supreme. And Doom reneged on his agreement to give it back because Stephen was in the astral plane, separated from his body that got turned into a vampire. So Dr. Doom is trying to, get Spidey's help on a some kind of mission. There's some kind of, and Spidey says no. And then there's just, there's that's Randy Robertson, Robbie Robertson's son, Peter's best friend, almost got married to Janice, the daughter of Tombstone. That's Shay. That's Aunt May. And I didn't mind this Spider Kid. And look at that hand-drawn onomatopoeia right there. That boom, that's drawn by the artist. It stands out like it's against the, like that whoomp, that was not drawn by the artist. That's click and point, dropped and dragged. So Spidey is on this mystic mission and accepts Doom's help. And then there's this interlude scene with a different artist. It was pretty darn good. I like this. This is really nice. And then so Spidey's given a mystic suit, a mystic Spidey suit. I'm actually a big fan of alternate Spidey suits because they, I don't know, they're pretty cool. And so he gets 8 lives. Now, the only thing, and I'll be critical, that this is like, I feel like Joe Kelly is really ripping off some MCU stuff. 2 points in the MCU. One was the Mystic suit that we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home. The black suit. It wasn't the black suit. It was a black suit, but with gold trim and mystical stuff. That was like the No Way Home, mystic suit. Oh, that's what I'll call it. And then Peter being killed and having to be reborn over and over again. And he'll do this 8 times. He's got to die 7 more times. So he's got to die 8 times in total. And that's right out of the Doctor Strange movie, where he's like, Dormammu, I've come to make a parlay with you. Dormammu, I've come to make a parlay with you. And Dormammu kills Stephen Strange horribly every time. And so, in new ways, the Time Stone and the Time Loop, that was a fun movie. But yeah, that's ASM 61. Yeah, that was a 14 Marvel Comics. What's in the bag? What's in the bag? What did we read this week? What did we buy at the local comic book shop this week? From my pull list, I'll show you. And in no order, Green Lantern number 17 by Jeremy Adams and Germanico. This is actually a really good book. It's really well paced. It's really well drawn. It's got some really good art. It's a good story. Jeremy Adams is the heir apparent to the Jeff Johns legacy of Green Lantern. And Peter Tomasi, too, of whom did Green Lantern Corps. Jeremy Adams is going to be doing Green Lantern Corps shortly. And it's on my pull list, so you'll start seeing that soon, too. This was fun. This was good. Now, I only brought 1 copy. I got 2 copies. I got the A cover, which came with my pull list. And then I saw this on the shelf. This is the A, B, C, D, E. This is the F cover. It's the 6 cover. G.I. Joe number 1, Energon Universe. fun, really fun. This literally has 45 different variant covers for an issue 1 on the first printing. Like Transformers had their 10th printing of issue 1. That's for next week, and it's got 10 different variant covers for a 10th printing of an issue. You know what I mean? Like, wow. I've got 2 copies. I've got yeah. But I'm a sucker for Baroness. I love Baroness. She's such a great character. I love Baroness. She's like one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters. This is so well done. This is a the Kotobukiya Bushoujo. So it's it's Baroness in an anime style. Like I see my Mary Marvel's in that same style too, but I mean what sold me on it was literally her butt. And this is sculpture. Beautiful bust, butt, hair, hips, smile, and plus it's Baroness, and this unique kind of like outfit too, non-traditional. Now I could have got. There are 2 other paints of this. There's the traditional all black with the red Cobra logo, and her action figure rifle. And then there's a Crimson Guard version of this. But I liked this one a lot. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I had the original. I had the action figure in 83, 84, 84. I think it was 84. I think that was wave 3. I had Destro. I had Cobra Commander. I got Cobra Commander with points. That I think it was 5. You cut out the proof of purchase on the card back, and you mail it in. I got Duke and Cobra Commander that way. I'm a real G1 fucking Joe fan, so I really enjoy the shit out of this. That Skybound is it's written by Joshua Williamson. We talked about him earlier. Art by Tom Riley. They did the Duke mini, and this is just really, really awesome. So happy with this. Energon Universe. It's fun. And I got 2 copies. I got the A copy, and I got this Baroness version too. And then I also got Transformers number 14. Which Cobra Commander? The helmeted, silver-faced one, the first one, because Cobra Commander 2, the hooded Cobra Commander, was also available for the mail away offer as well. There was also the Manta that was like the sailboard with a catamaran thing. I mean, I don't think I got that one. It doesn't ring a bell. But yeah, I got the original Cobra Commander, and I got Transformers 14. Jason Howard's on art, taking over from Jorge Corona, and it fits very well, and it's also starting to blend in the Energon Universe components. So a Mars team, not a Cobra team, but a Mars team. What is Mars? Military Assault Research Systems, or McCulloch Assault Research Systems. It's Destro's company. He's an arms dealer and manufacturer, and a team of Mars people found Starscream's husk and brought it back to life a bit and attached it to a HISS tank, which is funny because Starscream is usually an F-15 Eagle, and flies. So he's a lot more grounded here. And then by the end of it, it's just like this great art. They find Astro Train, and they make a deal. to get back to the Cybertronian remnant that's left on Earth and the Decepticons. And one of my favorite aspects of Starscream is his violent disregard of human life or animal life. He calls us squishies, and he squishes us like little gnats. Oh, boy. Indeed. Well, thank you guys so very much for coming to the stream today. It's time for supper. I'm gonna. I need to eat something, and then go to bed. For I wake up at 3:37 in the morning, so that's like bedtime is right around the corner. But I have I got meatloaf dinner. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans. I'm so hungry. I'm so ready for my Sunday supper. I'm gonna watch a movie or a show, usually a YouTube show, and just land the plane and enjoy this weekend. It was a really wonderful weekend. It's my birthday on Tuesday, and I'm very grateful and blessed. I remain so. Thank you so very much for tuning in. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again in those funny pages. All right. Ciao. Bye-bye.